This is the Fantasy Football Cheat Sheet, where we give you up-to-date injury news, predicted lineups, key fixture analysis, who to transfer in, and loads more. And all from official sources. And we're working from home now, which is easy for me as I can watch Netflix while recording. No, don't go in there! Okay, Liverpool fans, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is Diogo Jota is back in full training. The bad news is Jordan Henderson is out for 6 weeks. Any chance Jota can do a job at centre half? In all likelihood, he'll be starting on the bench for the next couple of games. Hang in there, Jurgen. Rob Holding was taken off as Arsenal's very first concussion sub last weekend, so he didn't make the squad for their Europa League game against Benfica. However, he may be back just in time for Arsenal to lose to Leicester. Jack Grealish is 50-50 for the weekend after suffering some discomfort in training, while Matty Cash is definitely out, so if you've got him in your team, now's the time to cash out. Once popular pick Tariq Lamptey is 50-50 to face West Brom, but because he's missed the last 12 games, maybe hold off on putting him back just yet. Potter says, we'll see, but more importantly, what do Ron and Hermione say? Brighton. James Maddison is out of Leicester's Europa League squad, having scored 5 in his last 9 games, and it doesn't look good for the weekend after he's taken a knock on an old injury. From everybody at Arsenal, James, we wish you a nice, long, slow recovery. Seriously, take your time, man, there's no rush. Wilfried Zaha remains out injured with no return date penciled in, but it turns out Crystal Palace do actually have other attacking players, gaining their first win without him against Brighton after losing their previous 5 on the trot. Cavani is still out for Man United after missing their last 3 games. Hands up, we got that one wrong last week after saying he'd be back. But hey, even VAR gets it wrong every now and then. Just every now and then. Southampton aren't only losing games, they're losing their best players as well, as Kyle Walker-Peters is out again. To be honest though, it's probably not the best time to have a Saints defender in your team. Key fixtures. Right, this round is a huge double game week. Only Leeds, West Ham, Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton and Southampton aren't playing twice. But who has the best fixtures of the other 14? Well, Spurs come up against Burnley and Fulham, Everton play Southampton and West Brom, Leicester have Arsenal and Burnley, while Aston Villa play Leeds and Sheffield United. And of course, Man City have 2 home games. For this show's 3 key games, we're going to focus on the first half of the game week, as so much can change between now and next week. Chelsea v Man United. Thomas Tuchel may be new to the Premier League, but one side he's familiar with is Man United. He was on the end of a Romelu Lukaku brace as the Germans' PSG were knocked out by United in 2019, while he's also met Solskjaer as recently as December just gone. It was 1 win each between Solskjaer and Tuchel in this season's Champions League group stage, a group that eventually saw United finish in 3rd. What a shame. In terms of this fixture, Chelsea have 1 win in 8 games against United in all competitions. The 1 win of course knocked them out of last year's FA Cup. Beating United in a semi isn't that hard though. Let's be honest. Since arriving, Tuchel has turned Chelsea into the top 6 Burnley. They've had 4 clean sheets in the league, only scoring 8 goals and never scoring more than 2 in 1 game. By contrast, United have scored 3 goals or more in 3 of the last 4 games. Chelsea have only lost at home this season to Liverpool and Man City and are 4th in the home form table. Spurs versus Burnley. Spurs kick off what should be a very fruitful double game week at home to Burnley. It's just 1 win in 13 for Burnley against Spurs, although they have restricted them to just 1 goal in the last 2 meetings, in true Sean Dyche style. Burnley were done by the famous Kane assist Son goal earlier in this campaign, also known as Spurs' only tactic. To be fair, it's a good one. As resolute as Sean Dyche is, it's not stopping Harry Kane scoring 7 goals past his side, 6 of those coming in the last 5 games. Only 33% of Dream Teamers are picking Kane. For comparison, Salah ownership is at 46%, despite scoring 30 fewer points. Spurs have lost 5 of the last 6 games in the league though. They are stinking the place out, but Burnley do have the 4th worst away form in the league. We're calling this one the washing paint dry derby. This game will be as dry as my dad's feet, but we just about fancy Spurs to edge this one. Man City versus West Ham. The Premier League's 2 most informed sides over the past 10 games collide on Saturday morning. It's of course 12 Premier League wins in a row for City, but the Hammers have 7 wins in their last 10. Jesse Lingard's arrival has been the recent catalyst. They're unbeaten since he got there and he's grabbed 3 goals and an assist. And he's joined a band. Like every side up against Man City, West Ham's history in this fixture isn't great. It's no wins in 11. Their last win came when Victor Moses scored back in 2015. I genuinely forgot Moses even played for West Ham. Makes sense. Must have taken a miracle. Their 1-1 draw earlier this season did however stop City's 9-game winning streak against them. Michail Antonio opened the scoring that day before Phil Foden equalised. It's hard to see anything other than a City win though, especially as Moyes is winless in 8 games against Pep Guardiola sides. We'll be looking once again to Raheem Sterling in this one. He has 8 goals in his career against West Ham, including a hat-trick last season. Moving on, we have to give a notable mention to Leicester versus Arsenal. Arsenal fans, you know what's coming. Jamie Vardy. He didn't even start in the reverse fixture earlier in the year and he still came off the bench to score the winner. Despite just 1 league goal this calendar year, Vardy has more goals against Arsenal than any other side. He has 11 goals in 12 games against them, and in those last 7 games against the Gunners, he's only not scored once. I'm gonna be optimistic though and say that Arsenal definitely will not get relegated this year. Transfer ins. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everton have arguably the easiest set of fixtures in this double game week, particularly facing a Southampton side that have lost 7 of their last 8 games. Despite not starting the last 3 games through injury, DCL is still the joint 3rd top goal scorer in the league with 13. After a little winter dry spell, he's recently scored against Leeds and Man United, while also winning the decisive penalty against Liverpool on Saturday. One slightly concerning stat is that he's never scored against Southampton in 7 appearances. But he's got to break that duck sometime, right? Oh, and he scored a hat-trick against West Brom earlier this season, who the Toffees play on Thursday. Ollie Watkins. The man with the 6th most shots in the Premier League is Watkins. Villa have one of the most promising double game weeks, particularly with that 2nd game against Sheffield United. He has 10 goals for the season, including 4 in his last 7, and as we've mentioned, Villa are hoping to have Jack Grealish back against Leeds, having missed Sunday's loss to Leicester. Players at similar prices like Bamford, Antonio and Ings all have just 1 match in game week 26, making Watkins and Calvert-Lewin, or both, the sensible option. Anthony Martial is also playing too, but we still wouldn't recommend him. Villa are also one of only 8 teams playing in game week 29, if you're one for planning ahead. Lucas Digne. Jamie Vardy and Harry Kane should really be in this spot, but that's a bit boring. We've already told you about them. The Frenchman has the joint 5th most assists in the league and has the level most of any defender alongside Aaron Cresswell. More like Crosswell. There's plenty of clean sheet potential in both games as well. Southampton are rock bottom in the form table, while West Brom have scored the 3rd fewest goals in the league. Dean, you know that already? I'm on fire. Predicted 11s. Right, so you're up to speed with who's available. Let's get some predicted lineups coming your way. Right, that's all from us. Just before I leave you, I've got to remind you about our Dream Team Fantasy Football game. We've got a new and exciting subscription service for you this year called Dream Team Coach. It offers projected scores, fixture difficulty rating, projected price changes, and loads more if you're looking for that extra piece of detail when picking your team. It's available really easily in the app, and there's a link in the description below. Oh, and best of all, it's half price right now. That's just £9.99 for the rest of the season, so now's the time to get on it. Let us know what you thought of the show in the comments below. Tell all your mates about us. We're working hard every single week to bring you the most informative video on the internet for fantasy football. And let us know what your teams are going to look like. Have you got any obscure picks? How's your season gone so far? Right, I'm off. Good luck this weekend.